at 9:19 and Mayfield at 9:27. Those are areas where we could see this storm have potential major impacts. It may deviate from its track just a little bit, but at this point in time, it looks like it's going to go in the direction of Hickman. So you guys really need to be finding shelter right now. You got about 20 minutes. If you're in Hickman, if you're in any part of Fulton County in Kentucky, eastern sections of Hickman County, and into central Graves County, if you live in a mobile home, you need to be finding more substantial shelter now. If you've got friends or family in a nearby home, you need to be finding more substantial shelter. You guys have got to get to a safe place. Friends or family in a nearby home, you need to be finding more substantial shelter. You guys do not want to be friends in a mobile home in the path of this storm. If you live in a home, get to the basement if you have one. Put as many walls between you and the outside as you can. And let's go down for a closer view of what is currently going on with this storm. This thing, an extremely powerful and dangerous tornado on the ground around Tiptonville, Tennessee right now. I cannot stress enough that we have not seen a tornado signature like this in our area in a long time. This is an extremely powerful storm that is likely causing tremendous damage right now around the Tiptonville area. Let's see, Mark, if we can, let's try out, I'm going to try going back to the green screen. I believe we've got that system reset. Source 2 is starting to stall. I'm going to go over to the wall. Noah stepped out to speak with some folks in the newsroom. Again, if you live in Tiptonville right now, headed over towards Sandburg, this is an extremely dangerous situation for you right now. All right. So let's, and before I move out here, we've got a new tornado warning here in western Kentucky. Let's cover that real quick before we go back down into Tennessee. And also, for those of you in the boot heel, there's another storm that's coming right in the exact same track as the one that we're dealing with right now. Let me go over here and touch base on a new tornado warning that was just issued here in western Kentucky. This is a tornado warning for southern sections of Caldwell County, extreme northeastern sections of Trigg County, over into sections of Christian and Hopkins County. And this is a radar indicated area of rotation. Crofton and St. Charles, you guys are included in that warning. Let me stop the radar here and I'll put the velocity on. And there is some rotation right here. It's on the Caldwell and Christian County line. It's not particular. Hopefully that's a good thing for us. But this thing is headed across Highway 109. It will pass near or just to the north of Crofton. So again, tornado warning there. At this point, that's a radar indicated area of rotation. We'll keep an eye on that. But right now, we've got a life-threatening situation here in northwest Tennessee and getting ready to move into western Kentucky. So we're going to go back down for a closer view of this storm. And we likely have a very powerful, dangerous tornado on the ground. We're going to go down for a closer view here and give you some street level mapping of where this is headed next. It's going to be going right along Highway 22. So if you live in Highway 22 in Obion County in Tennessee, it is extremely important that you take shelter right now. All right, let me go back here. Did you take me out of play?
No, you should be good. You're good.
Okay.
Yeah, you should be in play. You're good.
Is it not working? The hand tracking stopped working on me. All right. We'll just kind of do this manually right now. tremendous amount of lightning with this storm, and that is a signature of an extremely healthy and powerful, dangerous storm. And I cannot emphasize enough. You know, I've been here 14 years. I don't think I've ever seen a radar signature that was as well defined as this one. This is just an incredibly dangerous situation that we've got going on here in northwest Tennessee. There is still a debris ball that's very evident on radar. It's just a couple miles to the Tiptonville, and it is continuing to move quickly off to the northeast. It is around Sandburg right now. Guys, if you live in Sandburg, it's on top of you right now. Out ahead of this, where are we headed next? This storm is going to be tracking near Woodland Mills, Tennessee. So, Union City, it looks like the worst of this is going to pass just to your northwest. If you live in Woodland Mills, you've got less than 5 minutes to get to a safe place of shelter, as this is a very dangerous, possibly life-threatening tornado. Don't say that to scare you, but there is a definite sense of urgency with this thing. Possible, we're talking about potentially, you know, a strong EF3 type or above. This thing has been on the ground now for, goodness, well over an hour. We've been getting reports of damage. Where is it heading next? They put a track on this. It's moving pretty quickly at 55 miles per hour. I'm going to track the part of this that is rotating.
We got other tornadoes on the ground, Trent, coming in out of Arkansas.
Yeah.
Got the chat back up now.
So we've got Hickman. This thing's going to pass close enough to you guys that we're going to have to, we need to be taking shelter in Hickman. If you don't see the tornado, you will see hail, possibly between ping pong ball size hail. Not out of the question that we could have larger, close to golf ball size. You're at 853. Clinton at around 907. Wheat at 19. Mayfield, if this thing continues on this current path, it's going to get into central sections of Graves County, and that would be around 9:28 this evening. There are additional storms out there that we're watching closely. There is a tornado warning here for those of you over in Christian County, and this looks now like it is a stronger area of rotation, and it's getting ready to cross Highway 109. So those of you over toward Manning and up toward Nortonville, possible tornado here with area of rotation that's moving across, getting ready to move across the Christian and Hopkins County line in just a few moments. But really, really concerned about this storm that's coming up out of Tiptonville. It's currently near Sandburg. It is, yeah.
This is not to this makes any difference, but this is an EF4 level debris that's been on there. The wind speed pixel now there is 135.
Yeah, I mean, this,
you zoom into that.
Guys, we just cannot emphasize enough how dangerous this storm is.
Couple things to share with you, Trent.
Yeah, go for it.
Got the chat back up. We alleged fatalities and injuries at a nursing home in Craighead County, and building collapses near Mooring. This is all from the same tornado. So this has now produced significant damage. We've been telling you this for the better half of 40 minutes now, but this is coming in now that it's confirmed. We're getting this out. Roofs off, buildings destroyed, injuries, and unfortunately now it appears this tornado has done at least one fatality in its track over the past hour. If you want, maybe we can try to restart that and get it back again. We'll try it now.
Yeah, let's see.
We've been having some technical stuff, guys, behind the camera. Bear with us here.
Yeah, we're gonna have to restart.
I don't know how.
Let's go back to source 2. If you don't mind to restart that for me, Mark. If you, we're gonna go back over to max 2. Looks like we got that on. Okay. Okay, I got you. So, right now, if you live in Old Fremont and Woodland Mills, life-threatening situation right now. Folks, we've got to get to a safe place of shelter. If you have friends, family that are there, make sure that they know there is a tornado on the ground and it's headed toward your area. Beyond that, in western Kentucky, Casey, Moscow, Crutchfield, Fulton, Fulgham, Water Valley, Wingo, you guys are in the path of this storm. You guys have got to be taking shelter right now. If you live in central Graves County, if you live in eastern sections of Hickman County, Fulton County, you've got 20, 30 minutes. If you live in a mobile home, you have to go somewhere else. You cannot be in a mobile home in this storm. It is an extremely dangerous storm that we're dealing with here. Let me give you a track out ahead of the, where it is going next. So tracking the rotation right now, moving to the northeast at about 55 miles per hour. And I'm going to track it way out here, okay? So, Hickman at 8:53, Casey at 9 o'clock, Water Valley at 9:13, Mayfield at 9:27, Golo at 9:36, Benton, Kentucky at 9:47, about an hour from now. This thing has been on the ground for an hour. There's no reason to think that it's not going to continue on. This is an extremely rare, incredibly dangerous storm, long track tornado, and it is possible that this thing could get up into central Graves County in 45 minutes and possibly into Marshall County within about an hour. So if you're watching from those areas, just be aware that you guys may come under a tornado warning here, possibly within the next half hour or so. But let's go back down for a street level view of this storm. And I'm telling you, this is just an incredible storm. I cannot emphasize enough how dangerous of a storm we're talking about here. Okay. Let's see if we can get the debris tracker going. It's having some. There's so much information that the radar is trying to process here. It's just having a real hard time. There is certainly still some indications that debris is being picked up here in between Sandburg and Old Fremont. Basically right along and just south of Highway 22, there are signs of debris being picked up here on radar. And go back to the actual reflectivity here. You see that there's a hook, and this is a textbook example of what we would see during a tornado. Headed toward Woodland Mills right now. Have any luck over there?
Getting some stuff in from people. Just keeping up with you here while you've been going on. The still getting the trend from Arkansas. Not that this changes the future impact, but when this was, it's just starting to now come out. I'm starting to see it. And by the way, not that this makes any difference to the coverage, we can now refer to this as a tri-state tornado. On the ground now,
just got a report. Just saw a report in 38, Sandburg, Tennessee. The fire station took a direct hit, and people are trapped with damage. Again, Sandburg Fire Station took a direct hit.
In your time here, Trent, compare this to something. I mean, this. I mean, this has to be above any. I mean, the return is suggesting this is above 4. I mean,
here's the thing. I don't think that I don't know that it's a good idea to place a rating on this right now. But I will say that in 14 years here, I have not seen a a storm that is as dangerous and powerful as this one. This tornado has been on the ground now, goodness, since back past Jonesboro, Arkansas. In fact, let me use our little measuring tool here and just kind of a rough estimate. I mean, I think it is certainly possible that this thing, I don't know if we're going to see a continuous damage track, but we've seen a strong signature of a tornado for over 100 miles now.
Wow. That's insane.
If that panned out to be true, we're talking about a historic tornado. We're talking about one that's going to go in the history books. I don't know if that's the case right now. That would just be speculation. I'm simply talking about that we've seen rotation for that long. But yeah, this is truly a once in a generation type supercell storm. I have not seen anything that is this long lived and this powerful. So those of you in Tennessee right now, if you live in Woodland Mills, this storm is on top of you right now. Old Fremont, you see where the radar takes a hook. When we say hook, I'll draw this on here, if it'll let me. This is what we're talking about. That is where it's rain free because everything is moving up. It's an updraft. It is a tornado. Woodland Mills, you guys you have to be in your safe place right now. Where's it headed next? It's going to cross the Kentucky-Tennessee state line. It's going to go across Highway 6 and Highway 125. It's going near Casey, Moscow, and then Highway 51 that comes down toward Highway 1529, Highway 94, the intersection's there near Crutchfield, and over just to the north of Fulton, Kentucky, Water Valley. Then it will go near Fulton and over toward Wingo along the Purchase Parkway and I-69. If it continues on this path, it will end up in central Graves County, possibly near the Mayfield area. So what's your timing on that? Let's put another track on that. We're going to put it, again, I'm going to track the rotating part of the storm off to the northeast at about 55 miles per hour. That's the current forward speed. So Casey, we now have less than 10 minutes. What you're probably going to see in Casey is some very heavy rain, maybe some hail. That's the very beginning of the storm. Then the rotating part is going to come up on the back side of the storm. Fulton around 9:12, Wingo at 9:19, Mayfield at 9:27, and then Benton at around 9:47. So it is incredibly possible that we can see the storm get into central Graves and central Marshall County. So just stay tuned as we continue to track this thing and keep your eye on it. But right now, just an incredible situation as this thing is getting ready to cross over into the Kentucky and Tennessee state line. Do you want to try things out at the wall just for a second, Noah?
Sure. And actually, Trent, I just was able to find this out to share with you. In Monette, Arkansas,
yeah,
Monette, 20 trapped, 5 injured, and unfortunately, as of now, 2 people have lost their life.
This was the nursing home?
Yeah.
Okay.
And we've got buildings that have been destroyed. Look, we've been talking about it. Trent's been telling you this for going on an hour now. This has produced damage, and I'm just starting to get caught up with the amount of damage that this has been doing. And we cannot stress enough, wind speed rating, that's irrelevant at this point. The messaging here is that this is a large and dangerous tornado that has now spanned 3 states. We have no indication that it will weaken anytime soon. If you're watching, as Trent has just told you, there's rain starting from Fulton to Clinton, Kentucky. If you're in Graves, we're putting you on warning. This is your early warning. Central Graves, start preparing now. If you have a bike helmet, if you have a baseball helmet, Go get it out of the garage, park your cars in the garage in the Mayfield area, Western Graves, and just outside of Clinton. And there will be rain first, then if you're on the north side, as Trent has said, hail, and then the tornado on the southern side. We've had debris with this thing that has been lofted above 25,000 feet in the atmosphere. At the current moment, Union City, to be crystal clear, there is no threat. Woodland Mills. If you are in Woodland Mills right now, you need to be sheltered. Cover your head in your bathtub, put pillows over your head. This is the tornado going across over the Kentucky-Tennessee border. There's so many damage reports on this tornado, I can't even catch up with what's been going on. Very large hail on the northern side, but what I want to focus on right now for you is the debris, because that is how we're going to confirm where this is. We've had reports of actually, Trent, forgot to mention this from a few minutes ago, debris, I don't know if it's debris fallout. The debris got lofted so high in the atmosphere, the debris signature is not quite as clear right now. There it is. Boom, there you go. This is the tornado right there. That is a tornado. The lowering of the correlation coefficient, that tells us that is the tornado. It has been fluctuating, at least it's a little bit behind, but that is it. Let's zoom in and tell you street level where this is going. There are no stronger words to tell you. Woodland Mills, Tennessee, you've got a violent tornado right now, any minute now. Woodland Mills Road, this is going to cross over the state line into Kentucky. Let's move this up and get you caught up with more roads and parts of the area where this is going to pass right over. State Route 116W, tornado coming, 5 minutes. Off of 125, tornado coming. As we're getting into Casey, Kentucky. Casey, Kentucky is raining right now. In fact, the rain is going to stop. If you're watching in Casey, let's zoom this out. Anywhere between 166.94, you need to be sheltered now. We're 694. This is your tornado, and it's coming right for you. Casey, Kentucky. If you live or are watching, now is the time. If you're in a mobile home ahead of this, you must find and seek your place of shelter now. We've been talking about this all week, about how find your shelter. We told you this morning. Trent was in this morning. Know where you're going to go. Now is the time to be calm and to think about where you're going to go out ahead of this. That's the tornado. Casey, where are you going to go? If you're in a mobile home, just to the south of Clinton, Fulgham, Kentucky, anywhere on 307 right now, if you're watching right here, where are you going to go? Innermost room, bathroom, closet. You need to go there now. You've got about 5 minutes. Casey, probably going to pass just to the south of Clinton, Fulgham. Let's put a view on this. Hickory, Fancy, Mayfield, in that triangle of west central Graves. This is going to be about the approximate path of the tornado. That is it right there. Mayfield, it's coming for you in that area. Maybe not directly, we can't say that, but the point is, central Graves, folks, 30 to 45 minutes, this is going to be coming through. There's no reason to believe it won't. Let's do a quick deep dive into the velocity. Again, this tornado has now spanned 3 states. In Trent, I can't even read some of the stuff that's on the internet now. There's been bad damage from this. Very bad damage reports. The velocity is so strong, Trent. I don't know if you want to weigh your opinion on this. I mean, there's so much going on in that space. I mean, it's in there somewhere.
Yeah, I actually saw a photo. I don't believe that we have ability to use it. It was from a storm chaser in Arkansas. There were 2 tornadoes on the ground at the same time back around Jonesboro. I'm pretty sure that was oh gosh, that was probably at least ago, I believe. But I mean, this is likely a generational type thunderstorm. This is something that in 14 plus years, seen a storm this powerful in our area. This is really it is a lot, friends. You know, my.
As you're seeing lightning from this now.
Straight with you, if you and Casey, if you are in Fulton, Wingo, Fulton, Central and Southern Graves County, guys, this will it's gonna keep going, and got into a safe place of shelter. Remember, if you live in a home with a basement, obviously that's the best place to go. If you live in a ranch style home, 2-story home, get to the lowest level, get to a hallway, closet, interior room, the smaller the better. Put as many walls between you and the outside as you can. If you live in Fulton, your time is almost up. If you live in Wingo, if you you're in a mobile home, cannot sit night. You've got to go somewhere else. If this thing hits and you're in a mobile home, the mobile home will not make it. So you've got to get somewhere else. You need to go to a substantial building and get away from this thing if you're out ahead of it. That's why we're trying to give you so much lead time. Even in the central northern Callaway, don't take a chance on it. Just go to a more sturdy building now. This thing is on top of Casey right now and is headed toward Fulton and just along Crutchfield. It's getting ready to cross Highway 51. There will be a dangerous tornado cross Highway 51 here at the Hickman-Fulton County line, and it will then go over toward Fulton on 307. Oh my goodness.
Casey, Kentucky. I mean, this is delayed. What, about maybe 2 minutes?
Yeah.
So really, Casey, this is on top of you. There is a violent tornado wreaking havoc right now in Casey, Kentucky. This is showing behind Casey, but that is an ugly radar return. I mean, it does not get, as we've been telling you now, there are no more words we can tell you. This is the highest end of highest end tornado. It's in Casey right now.
This is a catastrophic tornado. There is no doubt about it. We are talking about a tornado that will be one of the strongest to hit our area.
Casey, Kentucky tornado. Take cover now.
What we're dealing with right now. If you have friends, family that are in the path of this storm, from Fulton to Water Valley and Wingo, cannot emphasize enough. You are talking about a life or death decision. If you live in a mobile home out ahead of this thing, you have to go somewhere else. If you do not take the path of a life-threatening tornado right now, this is just incredible. And again, if you live in central and southern Graves County, you're not under tornado warning yet. You will be soon. You might as well treat it as if you are right now.
There's that track coming up for Graves. A lot of people asking about McCracken and Paducah. Fair to say, we can both agree we're good with this one in Paducah, in at least Paducah proper. No, fair to say. I would think
yeah,
so.
This storm is going to go south of Paducah.
So those of you wondering and watching in Paducah, Ballard, Massac, there is no threat to you. There is no threat to you from this. This is the track of the Dublin, Fulgham, Hickory, Simpsonia. I'm going to leave the track on here while this will go away, but I want to put more roads, towns in the path, the direct path of what is going to be remarkably bad tornado. 307, shelter now. Dublin, shelter now. Western sides of Mayfield, or on 45. Got friends, co-workers, family that are at work right now in Mayfield trying to travel to Mayfield. You need to tell them to stop. This is a violent tornado that is going to cross over 45 on the north end of Mayfield. It is doing immense damage right now as we are speaking. Let's zoom this in a little more. Is it possible this could hook a little southeast? Remember, this is the path I just put on of that debris. Is it possible it could hook and hit Mayfield? Sure. There's no official warning yet, but Trent and I are giving you that warning. You need to be treating this right now. Hickory, 440 corridor down to Dublin, heck, will include Fancy Farm. There might as well be a tornado warning for you right now. There's going to be shortly. This is continuing. Beyond that point, let's move this to the north. Bose, you're at play here. Simpsonia, 131. If you live between Hickory and Simpsonia off of 131, and eventually northwestern Marshall County. Already had that tornado warning earlier. Real quick, Trent, because I see behind me we have a new severe thunderstorm warning. We want to keep our attention, I think, on this tornado. Well, my gosh, man. But there's more coming. We'll try on this. Trent and I are going to do our best here to monitor both complexes. So that's a severe thunderstorm warning that's coming into Stoddard County that just got issued. That includes Sykeston. We'll be watching this if that turns tornadic, and also down into Arkansas. So those of you who just got hit by this coming out of Jonesboro, there's 2 more tornado warnings that are there right now. Let me move this back up and leave this with you here, Trent. We're keeping you on our, man.
All right, so here's what we're dealing with now. Guys, this is a life-threatening tornado that's coming across the Hickman and Fulton County line right now. If you live on Highway 51, right along the county line, it's here on top of you right now. You have to be in your place of shelter. Fulgham down 307 toward Water Valley. This is going to cross your area momentarily. We are not talking about a small tornado. This is an extremely dangerous, catastrophic tornado that we're dealing with. I want to show you again the wind or the debris signature with this. You see this ball right here? Jeez. There is zero doubt that we have incredible damage being done right now with this storm. The red shades is where the radar is seeing everything the same. The blue is where we have debris. That's where the radar is picking up all the stuff that is being destroyed right now. And there is absolutely no doubt that this thing is going to continue to cause damage as it moves off to the northeast. I believe we've got a new warning, so let's go out and get you that information. We've been telling you about this now, and we're hearing, we're actually hearing the alarms here.
Okay, so, so it's a new tornado track. See here so you can read it. This does have the tag of PDS tornado warning. It does include the tip of McCracken. So real quick before Trent gives that to you, if you hear your warnings in McCracken, it's just because it includes part of the county. This is going to pass south of Paducah. This will pass south of Paducah.
Okay, so let me get you this information. Tornado warning until 9:40 for Graves and Marshall County in Kentucky. This includes Benton, Fair Dealing, Mayfield, and Simpsonia. Notice there's the possibility of nearly baseball-sized hail on the north side of the storm. There is also, this is an observed tornado. It is a catastrophic tornado. This is the strongest tornado that I have seen in my time here in nearly 15 years. This thing is headed toward Mayfield at 9:30, Benton at 9:45. There is no stopping this thing. It is going to continue to move forward. This thing is incredibly well defined. This is one that you find in the textbooks. If you're looking for a hook echo, this is what you're going to look at. It's moving. Forward speed is still 55 miles per hour. So I want to give you a look at where it's headed next. And again, for those of you, McCracken County, you guys may have heard your phones go off, okay? If you're hearing the buzzing and the beeping of your phones right now, in McCracken County, we're okay. We are good in McCracken. What happened is that this polygon just kind of touched the border, and the way that those alerts, the wireless alerts on your phone, part of the county is affected, the whole county goes off. So we're good in McCracken. There's no need to worry with this storm right now. But the tornado is here. Casey, Kentucky, it's moving to the northeast at 55 miles per hour. So, Lingo at 9:19, Mayfield at 9:27, perhaps around Kirksey, Kentucky at 9:40, Benton at 9:46. Calvert City, I think, going to be more in the hail threat with this storm. If it ends up in your area, 9:54 for Calvert City. But listen, Mayfield, this is really, really serious. Now is your time. Get to shelter. Do not wait any longer. There is no doubt that this storm is headed in our direction. It is producing threatening, very destructive. If you live in a mobile home in Mayfield, you have to get out of it. Get to a neighbor's house, a friend, a family member, and get to a home. Put as many walls between you and the outside as you can. Stay away from windows. If your kid plays ball, you got a bike helmet that you can put on, a baseball helmet. Maybe pull the mattress off of the bed. Put that as you take shelter in your hallway, closet, bathroom. And make sure that you've got some padding, blankets, anything that you can put between you and the outside to protect yourself. This storm is not going to go away. Let's go back to our velocity scan and go down for street level mapping again on where this is headed. I cannot emphasize enough how strong a tornado this is. So right here, this is where we find the tornado. It is right along, it's just past Highway 51, and that happened.
I don't think I'll be going that way.
Let's put our distance here. About 4 miles south of Fulton. It just hit Casey. It is going to hit near or just to the south along 06. Fulton, you guys are, it's just to the north of you. You guys are going to end up being out of the path, the direct path of the tornado. It is going to probably pass very close to Wingo or just to the north of Wingo. Wingo is way too close for comfort. You've got to be in your safe place right now. You go down here for a closer view. You have something new, Noah?
Come out of Kate.
Okay.
I'm streaming the camera from the
right
studio.
Now, in Casey. So the tornado right now is just north of Crutchfield. It is along, it's getting ready to hit 307 near Fulton. So where is it going next? Let's do some movement here on the camera. Just to the north or south of Fulton. It will likely cross the county line into Great County, very close to Highway 58 and over toward the Purchase Parkway. It is likely going to go along the Purchase Parkway or I-69 in between Wingo and Mayfield out the next 10 minutes or so. So we'll zoom back out.
Go that way, I'll be
all
able to
of our
capture a
bases.
glimpse of it.
There are other storms in the area, but this one certainly is the one that is just power tornado is. You have down in Missouri, rather, Dexter or Malden, certainly some areas of but if you're in Marshall, you have to get to shelter right now. Go back down for a closer view, and I want to see how our debris tracker is looking. Oh. I mean, this is just a gigantic area of debris that's being picked up here. This is the worst of it. This is mind-blowing here. I mean, we were talking about a very high-end tornado. It would not be, I don't think it would be wise to give it a rating, but we're not talking about, an EF1. This is an EF3, 4, this is it. This is the storm that we're going to be talking about for years in our area, okay? That's what we're dealing with. Mayfield, Wingo, we've got to get to shelter right now. This storm had a signature of a tornado on it for over 100 miles. I don't know that it's had a continuous track of damage for that long, but it has shown signs of being a powerful tornado for nearly or over 100 miles. This is one that is just simply going to be a historic tornado in our area. Cannot emphasize that enough. Let's, again, kind of give you a track here. I want to make sure that we've got our timing down here on when we have until this storm hits. So we're going to zoom out here, and again, for our friends in Mayfield, Central Graves County, you're right directly in the path of this thing. Let's do this. I want to put a loop on it so that we make sure that we have the exact correct motion on the storm. So you see it came up here over Woodland Mills, Casey, and I mean it's going directly toward me and is getting closer for us. So let's put our actually let's go back and do a cone track on this at 55 miles per hour. So into sections of Central Graves County, Mayfield. Again, we're talking about 9:27 approximate arrival time. It is now 9:13. We've got 14 minutes until a very catastrophic tornado is in or around the Mayfield area. Low at 9:36, Benton at 9, and if you draw a line is now to Mayfield to Benton, it is very possible that it tracks exactly in that line. So Benton, 9:48, Central Marshall County, right now for you. Within the next half hour, we could be talking about a life-altering tornado. You've got to get to shelter. If you're in a mobile home in Central Marshall County, go somewhere else now. Don't wait any longer because it will be too dangerous to be out on the roadways. You're in Central Graves County, you need to be in place where you are. This thing is moving at miles per hour and it's Calvert City, you guys in the track at 9:56, we're probably talking about the hail threat in Calvert. And I don't want to forget about the hail threat. Again, let me go back to regular radar, and within just to the north of the rotation and there is the potential for up to golf ball to baseball size hail, and that is possible around Fancy Farm and just south north of Mayfield along Highway 45 up toward Hickory, over toward the state police station over there, Fancy Farm and points southward. Now's the time. Let's go ahead and get that car in the garage and cover that up, because this is not hail that we want to mess with. We're talking about potentially, again, up to baseball size hail with this thing. Radar's having a hard time picking up on the hail size, but I want you to look here south of Fulton. And again, and this is something that, quite honestly, I haven't seen here before. This is something that is not at tracks in our area before. This purple right here, it is where stuff is being lifted up into the atmosphere 20, 25, 30,000 feet in the air. It's trees, it's homes, vehicles, and it is going right for central sections of Graves County. There is zero doubt that we have a very catastrophic tornado ongoing right. Let me down here. It's going to be awfully hard to get a real accurate reading on exactly how big of a storm we're talking about. If you measure this debris ball, we may be looking at a 1 mile tornado here. That's the reality of what we're dealing with right now. It is not out of the question that this is a high-end, maybe higher type tornado. A mile, possibly. Bethel Road is where we find the debris ball right now. I'm going to have to step out of the frame to be able to see some of these roads here. It is probably crossing Simmons Road, 58, over toward Levy Road, and Holyfield Cemetery Road, State Route 944, and cross State Route 1283 here momentarily. Let me zoom out just a bit here. This is the storm, and this thing is by itself. It is in a perfect environment to continue to go, to continue to spin, continue to produce a tornado. There is its progress. It's going to continue to draw in that unseasonably warm, humid air. Just got a brand new radar scan, and here is our debris signature right now. It is on Highway 58. Go back down for a street level view here, and it is right along. It will cross and basically parallel to Highway 58 here, Holy Gold Church Road. Put some Graves County, and let's go here. And again, it's going to go north, going back this. So full track 50, and it takes turn. It's going to go that church. That's where it'll intersect with the where the 58 intersects with and merge with I-69 Highway 45. That's over just to the north, I believe, of Wingo. Let's go back out here, a little bit wider perspective. It's going to get, I believe, let me put this in motion here. Okay.
Yep.
So it's going to go likely just to the north of Wingo. But right now, Mayfield guys, we're directly in the path of this thing. I cannot tell you with any greater got it now in Mayfield. The whole city. Get to your basement, get to your hallway, closet, as many walls between you and the outside as you can. Baseball helmet, get those. Make sure that you got, pull out some pillows, blankets, get those over your head, put some padding between you and the walls. If you can't be out on the road like in Mayfield, it's too late to start going somewhere else. If you're in Marshall County, you've got time to get to a more substantial shelter, but your time is running out there. There's going to be some from Fancy Farm over toward Hickory, northern sections of Graves County. You guys may see up to baseball-size hail with this storm. Just incredible wind with this thing. I mean, we're talking about the potential of winds well over 150 miles per hour or greater with this tornado. And we'll go down a bit closer view of where the strongest rotation is. Just north is incredibly well defined. Over toward Macedonia Church Road, it is getting ready to hit I-69. Do not travel on I-69 right now. The Purchase Parkway in Graves County, get the road. Family that traveling there, call them. Get away. Thing. If you happen to have folks that are in the road, maybe if you're on your phone and you're driving here and you can't get out of the path, park, get into a ditch as you possibly can, out of your vehicle, and worst case scenario, if you're on the road here on I-69, that's we really hope that that's not the case with anybody, but if that's what you're dealing with, that's where you got to go. Let's put this. Let me loop this again here. Noah, y'all have any luck on reports or anything? You want to give me a quick update on what you're seeing?
So, things we actually for 3 thunderstorm warnings.
Okay.
That whole form. Talking about this for Mayfield, we've got Kaylee. Can you pass that to me? Severe thunderstorm warning, which
hey guys, make this really brief because we got to get back over to
Central or Southeast Missouri. But we're gonna stick with Mayfield. if you're in Mayfield, I want to focus just on real quick. I'll give you 30 seconds of the safety. Trent will go back and do the radar. Cover your helmet. Cover your head. Tornado injuries and fatalities. For trauma. Mayfield, Kentucky. It's 9:20. In 2 to 6 minutes, there will be a destructive tornado in Mayfield, Kentucky. Do not wait. Do not wait. Take immediate shelter now. I've got our debris tracker, bigger view here, Trent, so you can see it. Take a look at that lowering of the blue, paralleling the Purchase Parkway.
Yeah. Hey,
That's
were
it.
you guys going to cover that? Give us the real quick on that severe thunderstorm warning if you can.
So the severe thunderstorm warning is for Pulaski, Johnson, parts of Ballard, Mississippi counties, and far west Kentucky, East Missouri. Rest of there's a lot of strong wind developing. There is no other imminent route. So everybody else concerned. This is the only immediate. I've been keeping an eye on it. It's possible we could have another tornado out of Arkansas, but here right now, Trent.
We have a full damage reports from. Do you have anything on that? Particularly
The most of Casey and without pop.
Okay.
Amateur reports damage to a kit and the fire department. That was from the tornado.
In Casey?
Yeah.
Okay.
People in the chat saying that they can't get in touch with people in the path because there's no or cell service.
Okay.
The point here is this has been doing damage since it's been in Arkansas. It did damage in Missouri. It's done damage now in Kentucky, and reason to believe this is not going to continue to do damage. Other two real quick. Trent, we can both look at this. This is the tornado right here. This is it.
It's on.
Maybe not focus on what we're telling you. Cover your in a bathtub. Lay down in your room. The kids, you must be. Listen to us. Turn up the volume on your. To us on. Stay. Mayfield. Do not go to a window. Do not hang around your home. Do not try to look outside. You must shelter immediately. The next 5 minutes are going to be very rough.
Guys, Mayfield's under the gun.
Over to one real quick here. I want to kind of turn back over to the regular radar because I want to see if our debris ball is staying with us, and it is. Okay. Mayfield, guys.
It's the size of the town of
Listen.
Mayfield.
This thing is coming up. It is on I-69 right now. Macedonia Church Road. That may very well be a mile-wide debris signature. It's coming up into Mayfield, okay? So, where are we talking about? Let's get some of the locations plotted on here, okay? So, it's going to come right up the Purchase Park. It's going to come up west side of town first. So, western side of Mayfield, we're talking over toward the high school.
107-mile-per-hour gust just now at the Graves County Mesonet.
Okay.
Just came in.
Graves County Mesonet, and I believe that's actually just outside of Mayfield. Okay, so we've had a 107-mile-per-hour gust outside of this, okay? We're talking about over 100-mile-per-hour winds, easily over 100-mile-per-hour winds. It is coming up into Mayfield right now. South side, doesn't matter. Every part of Mayfield, you have to be in your now. If you live out toward it hits first up toward the north side. Guys will get hit next. You have to assume this is going to cut a path across town. Hope by some miracle to do something else. But at this point in time, we have to assume that this thing is going to do catastrophic damage around the Mayfield area. Do we happen to have, has the National Weather Service with a tornado emergency by chance?
No, as far as I can see, this is still PDS, particularly dangerous situation with the catastrophic tag. So
Okay.
everything that we've been echoing for the past several minutes.
Okay, so we're talking about, again, catastrophic damage with this. Yeah, so this is a brand new tornado warning till 10:15 for Graves County. Mayfield, expect catastrophic damage and 2.5-inch side. The debris ball is now coming into Mayfield.
Can't even imagine. There's not gonna be anything left.
Send some prayers to Mayfield right now. Let's keep our friends in prayers across the area right now, especially in Graves County. This is going to be a bad deal for us, okay?
That's the debris field.
Where's it headed next? It's going to go right up Highway 58, northeast
The
of
new
Mayfield.
subdivision, the country club is right there.
So let's go down here
But it's going.
and zoom in and track where this is going to go next. I mean, this is it. This is the storm. Mayfield. It's right on track. We said about 927, 928.
Yeah,
It's
headed
there.
for Benton after that.
Next in line is going to 131 and 58. It's going to stay for a few minutes just to the south of I-69. As you get past, I believe this is exit 5 here. As you get up into Marshall County, it's very possible that this thing is going to go just along or south of I-69 again. So between
it is
Highway 58
directly
and 69 here,
south of
that's where it
us
is headed
that way.
next.
So we're good.
We're good,
And from there,
yeah.
Is there any other tornadoes that
Two
track
more.
over this?
some of the roads we're talking about,
Northwest
Cherry
Tennessee
Drive,
right now. It's
Bird,
taking the same path as this one, but a little bit north, which means it could hit us.
Dave Miller Road, Wadesboro Road, Harrison Road, Tom Prather Church Road, just to name a few. And
Again,
this is
Mayfield,
out ahead
take cover.
of this storm as it continues to head off to the northeast and up into Marshall County here in just a little bit. But a catastrophic tornado likely ongoing right now in Mayfield. You're going to lose. If you do, or if you have the ability to take your phone with you, if you're able to still get a signal, we'll continue to stream live, of course, on Facebook Live. Hickory, up in the northern sections of Graves County, we're probably dealing with baseball-sized hail, and that may actually be the case up toward the Simpsonia area. I do want to zoom out enough to give us kind of a wider perspective of what's going on, because we did hear some thunder and lightning around the station, and just a real quick reminder, we do have some other severe thunderstorm warnings. We do have a tornado, obviously a tornado emergency. Is it just Mayfield?
It's a small, just right in the center of Mayfield, right in the center part of Graves.
Yeah. No emergency there in the county for the Mayfield area. I did want to make mention here, just real quick, some of our severe thunderstorm warnings. Let's go back to the lens and move our camera back around. I don't want to forget about these, but you know, compared to what's going on in Mayfield right now, it's your concern. We have severe thunderstorm warning in Southern Illinois and parts of Missouri, Alexander, Johnson, Pulaski, Union County for 60-mile-per-hour winds and 73/4. That's till 10 o'clock evening. Go back down here for central Graves County and up into Marshall County and track this where it's headed next. Unfortunately, we have likely a catastrophic tornado that is in Mayfield right now. Lives are being changed right now. Send some prayers for folks that are right now. And let's see where this is headed next. It's still forward speed of 55 miles per hour. We're going to have to zoom this out so we get a better track on it. The portion of the storm here that is rotating off to the north, again, 55 miles per hour. So, Benton, you guys are going to be on the path of this thing at 9:46. It's 9:31 right now. 15 minutes from now,
We're just right above it.
catastrophic tornado that's in Benton, very well, in Mayfield, may very well be on top of you in Benton.
About, Mayfield
9:46.
is about 26
Simpsonia
miles
at 9:38. You guys are going to be more in the hail core of this storm. We're talking about possibly up to baseball-sized hail in Simpsonia. Catawba, you guys are going to be in the path of this at 10:04. Eddyville at 10:09 and Princeton at 10:21. This is a tornado that's been on the ground now. Well, we have every reason to believe it has been on the ground for over 100 miles. This is a once-in-a-generation tornado that is moving across Grace County now, getting ready to head into Marshall County. This is a storm that about 40 years in our area. We cannot mess around with this in Marshall County. You guys get to your shelter right now. I'm sure the newsroom folks are working on what's going on here. This now looks to the northeast of Mayfield. See and the bright reds right here. This is the center of the tornado. Along 58, it is going to go parallel to I-69, moving up across eastern sections of Graves County, and is getting ready to cross over into Marshall County. So it will do that in the next 5 minutes or so, and I'm going to try to read off some of these highways that are in the path. It's currently near Highway 58, close to Dave Miller Road. It's going to go across Wadesboro Road, County Line Road, Harrison Road, looks like the Exora Road, and as it moves to the northeast, it's just to the south, or just south of I-69. It will eventually intersect back over to Highway 58, close to the Wadesboro Road area. You guys have anything new as far as damage or any new information?
So right now, they're not able to broadcast online,
There's one people
so
sitting
I'm
on the
restricting
check,
it.
lost power.
Hey, Macy, take
As we
cover.
would expect.
Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna be
We've
headed
got
toward
roofs that have been taken off,
Benton.
Trent, that's been coming in. And we had a few people say
Marshall
the
County.
tornado in our feed coming that saw and have been hit in Mayfield.
Okay.
The few
yeah.
that people on here that are commenting.
Hey, Maricela.
And you know, the thing is, you know, with as powerful as this storm is, the last priority for folks is going to be telling us what we're going to be trying to take care of their and so we may have a hard time getting reports here for a little bit, but you look at radar, it's very evident what's going on here. We zoom out again, and here's our debris ball. I'm telling you, this is the most remarkable destructive tornado that I have seen around here in, well, I've lived here for 40 years. I have not seen one like this before. And unfortunately, it just went across Mayfield, is on I-69 right now. If you have anybody driving on I-69 now in eastern Graves County into Marshall County, got to tell them to, at this point in time, if you can, in the next minutes in Marshall County, get to the ditch, do not overpass. That's the worst place you can go. Get as low as you can into a ditch, and get as low as you can. Abandon your vehicle, get away from it, get into a ditch, but hopefully folks are inside and not having to deal with that tonight. But this thing is going right along 69. Let me loop this. Over the past hour or so, we'll go out for a closer, or for a wider perspective, so we really get an idea of where it's been going. All right, so here it was. It came up the Purchase Park across Mayfield, and it's now here. Okay, Benton, you guys are next, and watch where it went. Let me draw this on here for you. Okay, it was in Mayfield. It's here now. It's going to be here next. Benton, you guys have got to get to shelter. And it's raining right now. That's not it. This is not the storm. This is the tornado. It's, let's put a distance line on here for you. The current debris ball is about 10 miles southwest of Benton. So this thing is headed directly for Benton and central sections of Marshall County. This is your time to get to the basement, interior hallway, closet. Get as many walls between you as you can and the outside, away from windows. Get your helmets on, take the phone with you. Don't worry about staying in front of your TV. Do not try to go outside and see if you can see this thing. It's dark. It's headed your way. We see it on radar. There's no doubt about it. It's been causing damage now for well over 2 all back in Arkansas. Get to your safe place of shelter in Marshall County. We have got to be ready for this thing. A life-threatening, life-altering tornado is going to go right along I-69 into Benton in the next 15 minutes. All right? Let's stop this real quick. This debris ball is very clear, but I want to draw our debris tracker on here. And you know, I'm not. I think probably what we're seeing, the radar from. I see the spin up there past our Local 6 logo. It's having to cut through a whole bunch of rain and hail, and it might make it a little tough to detect what's going on in here. But I mean, this speaks for itself. This is our debris ball, and it is headed toward the Benton area. It will be around Benton at 9:45, and areas west of Benton before that. So let's go down here for a closer view. And guys, if you all see anything at all as far as reports,
FYI, Lyon County will
damage,
be next
let us
into
know.
southern Livingston County.
But this thing right now is just south of River Road. It's going to be going right along I-69. Again, around
Hey, Ethan.
Van Zora Road, Hauser Road, and getting up.
For whatever reason, I
close
cannot
to,
share anything off the WPSC
Wadesboro
website
Road,
because it's not
just,
streaming there.
the next few minutes.
So opted for this.
Do we have anything new as far as reports on Facebook or the channel?
Not much new, just the massive TDS. Power outages galore. The wind gust, which if you're just joining us, over 107 miles an hour, that was at the Graves County Mesonet. That was actually probably the wind, we call that the forward flank downdraft. That was probably the wind before the actual tornado. So the wind in the tornado was probably over that. We had 107 mile per hour gust recorded there. But Trent, it consistent with everything we've been saying, everything you've been saying. Power outages, people have been saying they've been hearing a loud noise coming, which is exactly what you'd expect. You may hear it coming. It will be very quick. It's not going to last for 5 or 6 minutes.
We're watching this.
Very briefly and very
We
hard.
have more coming up the same path as the previous one. There's 2 or 3 more
We're kind of in a lull
tornadoes
right now because I
down
feel like a lot of people
in Arkansas, Missouri, Boot Hill, and into northwest
We're going on
Tennessee.
Facebook. We keep reminding people, take the phone, take your iPad with you to your shelter. We're going to stay here with you. We're going to talk you through get you through this. But
looks like a new warning here.
Yeah, so that is a
Lyon County,
PDS, particularly
Eddyville,
dangerous
Grand
situation
Rivers,
tornado
Catawba,
warning.
2-inch
That will go
hail.
through.
Holy cow!
That's going to go
Observed.
10:30.
10:30.
Let me zoom this out. Let me get the whole warning in here and show you. Goodness, this is a huge warning. Okay, hold on. Let me zoom back out again.
While you're doing that, Trent, remind people, don't forget your kids, your pets. If you're far enough out in advance of this, if you don't have a basement, innermost room, don't just stand there. If you're in Benton, in a bathroom, take some blankets with you, maybe cover over your head, protect your head. Like we've been saying too, we haven't said this in a hot minute. If you're in a mobile home in Benton or further northeast, you need to leave and find and go to your place of shelter. We've been telling you now all week and all day. So if you're in a mobile home south of Grand Rivers in Benton through northeastern Marshall County, now is your time to act.
Okay, so our new tornado warning now, just to get the official info here. This tornado is now in Marshall County, in the western sections of Marshall County. Marshall County, up into the extreme, very southeastern corner of Livingston County, up toward the Grand Rivers area, over into Lyon County. Tornado warning until 10:30. Benton, Eddyville, Grand Rivers, and Catawba. Possible 2-inch size hail, so we're talking about golf ball to close to baseball size. And an observed tornado doing considerable damage. That is what this tornado warning is for. This thing is very close to Benton right now, so let's go in here for a zoom. Hey, would one of you, if you guys don't mind, would one of you all check with the newsroom and see if we've got anybody headed down or toward Mayfield, or where we've got folks that are headed to cover this? So right here is our rotation. It's currently right along 69, I-69, Oak Level Road, Waysboro Road, and Hauser Road, and it is now just a few miles away from the Benton area. So possible tornado here is roughly 5 to 6 miles west-southwest of Benton. Guys, our time in Benton, it's almost up as far as taking shelter from this thing. Here's our debris ball right there. Debris ball has been as large as nearly a mile wide at times with this. Let me give you a new track on it. It's been a little bit since we put a track on this thing, and so we'll zoom out and give you a look at where it is headed next. We'll probably have to move the camera around just a little bit. Zoom this out just a little bit more. We've got a lot of territory that we have to cover. This thing is really just moving incredibly fast. So from right here, the rotating part of the storm moving to the northeast at 55 miles per hour, and that is going to put it, Benton, we've got 4 minutes, less than 4 minutes. Eddyville at 10:11, Princeton at 10:21, Dawson Springs at 10:33, and Providence at around 10:40. That's going to be the kind of taking the storm out of the local 6 area. But again, Benton, guys, it's here, it's time. You guys are going to have to make sure that you're in your safe place immediately in Benton, Kentucky, as this is a destructive, powerful tornado that is likely still on the ground, still doing damage. All indications are that this little circle right here is debris that has been being picked up from the storm and is being circulated around the tornado.
Getting reports, Trent, that communications down with KSP, people in graves. So as soon as we get an update from that between the newsroom, we'll pass that along to you.
Okay.
And
now we have a tornado emergency now for Benton.
Yep.
All right. Well, we've got the catastrophic tag, catastrophic tornado now headed toward Benton, Kentucky. 9:45. This thing's right on schedule. Let me get that readout. Confirmed large destructive tornado near Benton, moving northeast now at 60 miles per hour. It is speeding up. This is a deadly tornado. This tornado has caused fatalities we know of back in Arkansas. We have no idea what has happened across our area as it's moved across western Kentucky. This is a life-threatening situation. Flying debris could be deadly to those caught without shelter. This tornado is going to move through Benton and then across Marshall County. It's going to pass I-69 between mile markers 38 and 46. All right, again, tornado emergency for Benton. Tornado emergency. We haven't had one of these around here. What that means is it's the next level above a tornado warning. It means there is a tornado. It's on the ground. It's doing damage. It's coming into Benton right now. So it looks like, as we put a loop on here, if you live on the north side of Benton, that's going to be where we have some of the greater damage from this thing. Up toward Draftonville. You guys, but it looks like right now it's going to come more across the north side of Benton, 348 and 61 right around Elm Street. You guys are going to be in the path of this thing. Let me stop the radar here. And move our, zoom our camera back out just a little bit. All right, so Draftonville is here. It looks like the circulation is going to pass south of Draftonville. You guys are likely getting slammed with some very heavy rain and probably some hail from Draftonville up toward Palma and over toward Sharp. You guys are kind of on the tail end of this thing in Sharp, over toward Bryansburg and Little Bear. Lots and lots of rain and hail for you. The tornado is actually in the city of Benton. It's going to be coming right across the middle of town and the north side of town. Just south of town, way too close for comfort. Get to your safe place of shelter now there. All right, new radar scan, and there it is. It's right on the northern side of town, debris ball on 348, getting ready to cross Highway 69. And we're talking about Old Simsonia Road, crossing 69, again between 38, mile marker 38 and 46. Then it will cross 641 just north of Benton. It then goes, zoom back out, once it crosses 641, it will then go over toward Benton Bryansburg Road and Benton Birmingham Road, eventually crossing Highway 68. And this is going to be out in some pretty rural area, but between Doty Avenue, Billy Henson Road, and then Big Bear Highway. This is Big Bear Highway, so if you're familiar with that area, leaning out toward the lake and toward some of the resort areas there. This tornado could end up very near Big Bear Highway. All right, let's zoom back out here, and yeah, tornado emergency here again for Benton, Kentucky, and central sections of Marshall County. Catastrophic tornado now crossing I-69 just north of Benton. It's going right in between Draftonville and Benton. It is headed up toward Buena Vista. You guys are next in line for this storm. And while we keep an eye on, I'm trying to get a few bearings here on some of the locations that are going to be impacted here by this. So it looks like Bryansburg, you guys are in the path, and we're talking about, Buena Vista. That's over toward Moore's Camp Highway, Moore's Resort possibly in the path of this. It looks like we also maybe have a couple of new warnings. Let me zoom this out. We do have a new severe thunderstorm warning from McCracken County. I want to go ahead and get to that real quick. Let's kind of go back out. Big picture view. All right, we're not done, guys. This is just the beginning. We've got another line here. There's another line back to the west. We have a tornado watch that runs until 11 o'clock and likely will be extended. Let me give you a look at the new severe thunderstorm warning that's in effect. We need to zoom back in. This is a pretty large area with a severe thunderstorm warning that's in effect now for McCracken County. This is not a tornado warning. It's a severe thunderstorm warning for Ballard, Carlisle, Massac, and McCracken. That includes Brookport, La Center, Metropolis, Vienna. This is for 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and hail possibly up to 3/4 of an inch in diameter. Normally we would, let's take a quick look at the velocities here. Yes, there are some strong winds here. You see that Paducah is also included in that warning. Some strong gusty winds certainly possible there, but right now, of course, we continue to focus here on the Marshall County storm. I do want to mention one time here as well, that for folks down in the Boot Heel, Missouri, we already have been hit, and there are more tornado warnings here. At this point in the game, these do not look like anywhere near as intense.
New tornado warning there, Trent.
Yeah, and new tornado warnings here in Tennessee. Let me give you that information real quick. So, brand new tornado warning till 10:30 for folks in Pevascott, Southern Lake, Northern Dyer, including Dyersburg, and southwestern sections of Obion County. That's going to include Caruthersville and Dyersburg. Hail size up to 1 inch in diameter. This is a radar indicated area of rotation. We have not had anything confirmed with this particular storm, so I wanted to make mention of that and give you an idea of just what we're dealing with there. But we've got to go back over to Marshall County right now, because this is the storm that has a tornado warning on it. It's done incredible damage, catastrophic tornado here, and it is still on the ground. Nobody have any new reports or anything coming in to the chat, Facebook?
So we've got a crew. We've got Jack King and Justin Jones going to Mayfield. They're on their way. We're getting reports of emergency vehicles going to Mayfield and major damage reported in Mayfield.
Okay.
Other than major damage, Trent, that's what we're just starting to get out from the folks in Mayfield.
And you know, the thing is, it's going to take a long time to get specifics, because you know, we got folks that are that have just gone through a life-changing situation here. This storm currently is just to the southeast of Draftonville along 68. It is headed toward Buena Vista. So we're talking about out pretty close to Christian Fellowship School, perhaps, just to the south. It's very close, very to just the southeast of Marshall County High School. Zoom back in here. And this thing has kind of gone through some cycles. It is now going through another upward cycle. It's kind of taken a little bit more of a north turn. And Draftonville, we are seeing some real heavy wind right now. And let me move the camera around here just a little bit. Again, the tornado warning, tornado emergency for central Marshall County. It's just south of Tatumsville, just to the east of Bryansburg, and it's headed over toward Moore's Camp. Okay, Moore's Camp Highway is right here. Buena Vista, that's where we find our resorts. We've got a lot of emergency vehicles apparently headed out toward Mayfield right now. And goodness, yeah, this is headed right toward the resort areas. Rocky Point,
Oh my goodness.
over toward the moors. We got hit hard, you know, not too long ago. I think, you know, right now it looks like it may hopefully go a little bit farther north of that. But again, this is still just this is a catastrophic situation. There's our debris ball. Let's move this around so I get a little bit better view. Here's Moore's Camp Highway, Denzel Martin Road. And this is huge. This debris ball measures a mile wide. We very well may still have a mile wide tornado in progress here in Marshall County. I just cannot believe that this thing is still going. And it is just, this is a once in a generation storm. We're going to be talking about this thing for decades. Here's Moore's Camp Highway and Buena Vista. This is the lake. Here's Little Bear Highway, Steamboat Road. Anywhere in this area, we've got to be in our safe place right now. The velocity scan, I mean, it's just incredible winds here. Winds are off the chart with some of this. Wind speeds here, you know, 72 miles per. Trust me, the wind is way higher than 81 miles per hour in some of these areas. You know, this is just the inbound and the outbound wind, and right in the middle is where we find the tornado. All right, let's zoom this out just a little bit. Okay, here's our new debris ball. It is right, just right over Moore's Camp Highway here, getting ready to head out toward, you know, it's going to be real close to Moore's Resort. Real close. I don't know that we're going to take a direct hit, but it's going to be awfully close. The tornado has passed Draftonville and Benton. zoom this out just a bit. It's going to go across the lakes, and then it's going to come out on the other side, perhaps over pretty close to Hillman Ferry, and maybe close to the Birmingham Ferry, anywhere between Hillman Ferry, Birmingham Ferry. Those areas on the other side of the lake are in the path of this next. Hey guys, real quick, Kaylee, I saw you head to the newsroom. Do you have anything new that's going on over there? Okay.
Yeah, Trent, we have a couple photos that we're getting ready to upload right now. We are having multiple crews coming in. We're going to have some reports from them later on tonight.
Okay.
You have the feed pulled up, the Facebook feed. Something maybe a lot of people are asking, clarifying about literally what they should be doing. I know we've said it a lot, but just trying to reiterate what you literally should be doing.
Okay.
I know we say shelter, but maybe.
Yeah.
If you are out ahead of this right now, if you live near Moores Camp Highway, Buena Vista, Little Bear Highway, and then across the lake over toward Pigsa Point, it's getting ready to move over LBL. It's getting ready to move over some very rural area, which is good news because we need a break from this thing going over populated areas.
What was that?
But if you live out ahead
What
of
was
this
that?
thing,
Did you hear that?
That was, yeah, I was outside when it hit. It was right in the woods over here.
That
That wasn't a transformer or anything?
No, that was a lightning bolt. Yeah, I caught it on camera live.
Put a mattress over where you're taking shelter, pillows, blankets, anything to provide padding, shelter. Do that. Just stay away from windows. Stay away from exterior walls as low as you can. If you're in a mobile home out on the other side of the lake, if you live over toward Lake Barkley, if you live in a mobile home, you've got to get out of it. Let's zoom out here just a little bit so I can get perspective. And you still see we've got a very well-defined debris ball right here along the resort area of the lake. This thing is getting ready to head across the lake. It's going to go likely just northwest of Lamasco. So if you live along I-24 here, in between Eddyville and Lamasco, if you're here, if you live in a mobile home, go somewhere else. Get out of the mobile home. You still got a few minutes. You've got 15, 20 minutes. Get to a friend's, family members, neighbors, where we have more substantial shelter. You cannot be in a mobile home in this storm. It will not survive. Get to an interior hallway or closet. Get as low as you can. This thing will eventually cross I-24. If you have anyone that's traveling on I-24 between Grand Rivers, Eddyville, if they're headed toward Nashville, if they're passing through Grand Rivers, Eddyville, going that direction right now, gotta get them off the road. Tell them to get to shelter. You cannot be out on I-24 right now. You said you do have some photos? Of course, okay.
Trent, we just got this in a couple of minutes ago. Okay. We got this in 5 minutes ago.
Wow.
That from Jennifer. I believe I was trying to piece together. I think that's 45. I can't tell.
That's
I
hard
think
to
it might
tell.
have been 45, but that is. But we confirmed that is in front of Mayfield, which would have been about 25 to 30 minutes ago.
I mean, that is a huge tornado. I don't know how, I assume that was from a pretty far distance, and if it was...
I zoomed it in quite a bit, yeah.
Okay. Do we have anything else?
That's the one photo we got
Okay.
for you right now. And I believe the tornado warning has been expanded north, yeah, to include Southern Lake, Ridgely, that just got hit before.
Okay.
For you. As soon as we get anything new, we'll let you know.
Okay. I want to put a track on this one, and then we're going to go down and update you on the Tennessee storm. I believe at last check, this tornado was moving at 60 miles per hour. So I have to zoom out just a little bit here. So from here to here, and it's headed toward, guys, Princeton is going to be a real close call for us. All right, so we will track the rotating part of the storm, which is right here, moving off to the northeast at 55 miles per hour. So Saratoga at 10:12, Princeton at 10:20, and you guys are right in the middle of that track. Dawson Springs at 10:32, you guys are right in the middle of that track. Then Earlington at 10:46. So all of these locations, Saratoga, Princeton, Dawson Springs, assume that this tornado is going to remain intact. I know it's getting ready to cross over the lakes. There's this myth that when a tornado crosses over a river or a lake, that it does something to the circulation. If we're dealing with a major significant tornado, that lake or river has nothing to do with it. It's going to go right across those lakes, and it will come out on the other side. So Saratoga at 10:12, Princeton at 10:20, and Dawson Springs at 10:32. All right. Let's just let me go all the way back out for the big home view perspective here, and we're not done yet. This thing is still going on. This individual supercell that's been on the ground or has been rotated at least since way back about 2.5 hours ago, it's still tracking around. Eventually, this line is going to catch up with it, and that's going to be what ends up, I think, finally giving us some help with getting rid of this storm. You see that it's starting to get up. It had been by itself for miles and miles and miles. It's now starting to get to where it's going to be interfered with. The circulation of the supercell is going to start to get interfered with by this complex of storms coming up behind it. Hopefully that'll start to weaken it. We've got new tornado warnings here in Tennessee. We'll get to that. And there's another line out here in Missouri. Right now, severe thunderstorms, but we need to keep an eye on that. I do believe once this batch of storms moves east, the next one behind it will likely have more of a wind threat. We'll see more severe thunderstorm warnings as opposed to tornado warnings. Let's go down here in Tennessee and give you a look at this area that these are new tornado warnings, and let's get you caught up here on the specifics of that. Let's see here. Tornado warning now until 10:30, and that includes Southern Lake, extreme southeast, southwestern Obion, Dyer County, and back into southern Penobscot County. This is a radar indicated area of rotation. This is a much more, I say disorganized, it's not a supercell. It's a line of storms that has some rotation detected within it. So let me stop this. And let's go for a look at the velocity scan here. Kind of hard to pick out our rotation here. Let's actually move the camera around and get into the Memphis radar site. Yeah, there's some rotation here. It's not really well defined. So we'll keep an eye on this one. I do want to put a track on it here real quick, just so we get an idea of where we're talking about. So let's go back to radar. And let me loop it real quick so we get an idea of where it's moving. Do you have to have forward speed on this? I don't have the printout over here.
That tornado is the emergency?
No, the Tennessee.
Got it.
Storm.
Okay, that one, the forward speed is, I believe it's going to be 55. Yep, 55.
Okay. All right, so let's put a stop on that, and we'll just kind of track that entire complex. And it's moving east-northeast at 55, so that's going to head it, put it up, heading toward Union City and Martin. Ridgely, you guys are going to be in kind of the northern part of this complex at 10:16, Dyersburg at 10:25, Troy at 10:36, Union City at 10:43, and Martin at 10:45. This does not look like the storm that came through Tiptonville and Ridgely and Woodland Mills and Casey earlier. This is not that kind of a storm. All right, let's go back to the storm that has caused all of the damage as it is crossing the lakes right now. We still have a tornado warning in effect for Lyon County. And let's get you that information here. Tornado warning for Lyon County and a corner, a little sliver of Livingston County over toward Grand Rivers. This still is being considered an observed tornado right there. It is over the LBL area. So mainly rural areas right now being impacted by the storm. The debris tracker, there is still debris being lofted into the air right here. Where you see the reds and the oranges, that's where the radar's picking up things that are similar. Where you see the blues and the greens, that is where the radar's picking up different stuff, debris from the tornado. And when you see this ball right here, that's not rain, that's stuff. And that's what the radar is showing us, showing us where the tornado is located. Let's go down here for a zoom in. And it may be a little difficult to pick out locations here. DeMumbers Bay, Lake Access Road, Brandon Chapel Road, and Bethlehem Cemetery Road, all in the path of this as it moves across LBL. What you got?
Two things. First,
okay.
The picture we showed was not for Mayfield, just to clarify.
Okay.
And second, we're getting reports of, Kaylee, would you like to read that?
Yeah, it looks like we've got reports of people trapped in the candle factory in Mayfield. We had a couple of people mention that the roof's been torn off the candle factory. Now people are trapped in there.
So to repeat, because I think your mic was off.
Candle factory in Mayfield, just north on 25.
Oh yes, let's try that again. So
building
it
collapsed
sounds like a couple of people are
top of
trapped in
workers.
the candle factory, as well as the roof being torn off of part of the candle
So it went
factory.
north.
And this is in the Mayfield area, by the way.
It's right north of Mayfield. Come on,
And
right
we're
next
getting
to the old
reports.
Disco.
Wow, the candle factory? I knew people that worked there.
Family
Yeah.
members, cars
Well,
damaged.
they're
Also,
trapped
we
around
went to the safari park yesterday,
Severely
and I
taken
literally
to
was
the
jumping
ground.
around, and they have a trace my animals. I was like, what the tornado is? And
That's a
the
new
other two tornadoes are hitting
tornado
right now.
warning
Yeah.
extension.
And there's 700 plus animals like
Update
out there,
going
so
to Tennessee.
I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, speaking of, okay. Paradise Hills, you guys are next with this tornado. If you live in Paradise Hills, just over to the west of I-24, you've got 5 minutes. Assume that there is a dangerous, destructive tornado headed your way. I need to go back down to Tennessee real quick because we have Sandburg, Tennessee. We got hit really hard with this tornado earlier this evening. There are multiple crews that are out doing rescue work right now, crews that are out trying to help people that were impacted by this, and there's more weather way. So let's give you an update on what's coming your way down that direction. Let's go down here, Sandburg area. You guys are kind of over toward Ridgely, and so here's what we've got headed your direction. There is another tornado warning for those.
Sorry guys, we lost our camera at the studio due to a power bump. We did not lose coverage here at home due to me having battery backups on our fiber lines. But at the studio, I do not have that. So that's going in next week. So we're trying to get channel 6 audio back up for you guys.
You don't know.
There you go. Just went through it all. But it's weakening because it's hitting.
Pretty close, middle state park, the golf course out there. Just to the east, looks like of that area, and
Dang, that's right across the bay
some pretty
from
rural
Okatawa.
it does look like there again. That's pretty close to the 24 and 69 interchange, just to the southeast of that. So Mineral Mound, pretty close to the penitentiary there. And,
That's all we need.
there's a Marathon gas station out there and a grocery store on 293, and from that point on, it's going to be kind of sliding on to the east. It's over toward Princeton, guys. And Princeton, if you're watching right now, it's getting really close to you. Let's put a loop on this so that we can kind of get an idea of
Joe was the chaplain there.
where. Anywhere
I
in
took
Princeton,
karate classes
take
there
shelter
my freshman
right
years
now. South of
in high
town,
school,
right
on
in the
the
middle of
hill.
town. You have to assume that there is
That
a
was
destructive
crazy.
tornado
Sat in the
on your
leather
doorstep
before.
Oh,
right
that's
now.
really cool.
That's kind of crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Great.
Let's plow for a
I've got the camera back from the studio now.
track on that. Anything new coming in from the chat?
Just so you know, the weather service in Paducah, this just happened 10:14. Lost power. They don't have a generator, so our comms have been moved to National Weather Service out of Springfield. We're picking it up. Got that
The
changed.
National Weather
We're
Service
picking
in
up the
Paducah
warnings
does
that are
not
coming
have
out
a
now for here.
generator.
There's a new tornado warning in Madison County. Just
They
came
have
out.
one there.
Yes.
But that we'll get to that
Or
in a
no
minute.
gas.
Madison County, Kentucky.
Missouri.
Oh, yeah.
And the report that people in
I haven't ate it.
Mayfield
No.
is developing.
Because
and,
their
what we
warning
got from the
system's
news
knocked
just
out.
now when Haley left is that there's
It got hit
May-
by lightning.
since the
I'm
square
surprised the
Mayfield
radar's still working that honestly.
in Mayfield. And as soon as we hear more, we'll let you know.
Okay. So Princeton, we've
My
got
question
findings.
is I wonder how Sarah
1022,
is because her
arrival
house
time
is
in
in the
Princeton.
neighborhood that got hit.
And Dawson
And he
Springs
started
at
talking about the other
10:35.
tornado though.
So you,
Because there's two other ones
Princeton
coming
and
our way.
Dawson
Yeah.
Springs
Like right where we were in
assume
August?
that
They're
a
going
destructive tornado
south.
done catastrophic damage
But
is
look
going
at
to hit
this. Every
both
county has a
communities
tornado.
in the next Princeton and 1035 in Dawson Springs. If you live in Princeton, I need you to go to your basement if you have one. If you don't, go to the middle of your house, get as low as you can, into an interior hallway, closet, away from windows, put a mattress, pillow, blanket on top of you. If you've got a baseball helmet, football helmet, bike helmet, get that on, take the phone with you, and make sure that you are able to stay connected with us. And it does look like now we have a tornado emergency for the Princeton. So let me get you that information here. Yeah, new tornado warning, 10:30 for the city of Princeton. Catastrophic observed tornado moving into town in 5 minutes. You have to get to shelter. This is the same storm that's Sandburg, Tennessee, Casey, Kentucky, Mayfield, Kentucky, Benton, Kentucky got hit hard with this thing. Now Princeton, you guys are in line. This is a once in a generation storm It's been doing damage for well over 100 miles. It's not gonna fall. We've got about 12 to 15 minutes, and it's going to be in your area.
I mean, it's awful, but it's kind of fun.
Zoom in here and give you a look at what's going on. The debris tracker is still picking up.
Honestly, those lawns kind of deserve it.
Okay, this thing is getting stronger, and right on 293 into the Caldwell County, just across.